Have you ever wondered what really happens to a woman's body after an intimate experience? Not just the physical sensations, but the deep, unspoken changes that linger in her heart, in her mind, and in the quiet spaces of her soul. Because the truth is, intimacy is not just an act. It's an experience that leaves an imprint, shaping not only how we feel physically but also how we process emotions, how we see ourselves, and even how we navigate our relationships. Red circle. Yet, so many women go through these moments without ever pausing to ask, how does this affect me? What is my body trying to tell me? And what can I do to care for myself in the hours and days that follow? Pushpin. In this video, we are going beyond the surface, beyond what society tells us, beyond the scientific facts, to explore the hidden truths about intimacy and its impact on the female body, mind, and spirit. If you've ever experienced an unexpected wave of emotions after intimacy, whether it's joy, deep connection, vulnerability, or even sadness, know that you're not alone. This is part of your body's wisdom, part of its way of processing something profoundly personal. Lightbulb will uncover what happens on a physical level, what your body is silently communicating to you, and why post-intimacy self-care is one of the most overlooked yet powerful acts of self-love you can give yourself. Red heart. But most importantly, we will talk about how to honor yourself after these moments, how to nurture your body, calm your mind, and embrace your emotions with gentleness and understanding. Belt, stay with me until the end, because I'll also be sharing a deeply personal story, a lesson from a wise woman named Clara, whose after-intimacy ritual transformed the way she approached self-care, helping her reclaim her energy, her balance, and her sense of self. By the time you finish this video, you will see intimacy in a new light. You will understand yourself better. And most importantly, you will walk away with the knowledge and tools to take care of yourself in ways that many women have never been taught. Fire. This is about more than just intimacy. This is about self-awareness, emotional healing, and learning how to listen to your body's quiet wisdom. And once you do, you'll never experience these moments the same way again. Speech balloon. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's begin this journey together. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. What happens to a woman's body after an intimate experience, one that touches the most sacred, personal, and delicate part of her being? The answer is layered, complex, and deeply personal. It is not just about physical sensations but also about the echoes left behind in her heart, the unspoken emotions that ripple through her mind, and the quiet shifts in her soul. I want to remind you of something profound. A woman's body is not just a collection of cells and tissues. It is a living archive of her experiences, a silent witness to her joys, her pains, her triumphs, and her sorrows. Every embrace, every moment of connection, every whisper of affection leaves an imprint, not only on the skin but also in the unseen spaces of her being. Her body is a sacred temple, a guardian of memories, designed with unfathomable wisdom, capable of feeling and remembering in ways even she may not fully understand. Every inch of our being carries meaning. Every sensation, every emotion serves a purpose. When a woman shares herself in an intimate way, she is not simply engaging in a physical act. She is opening herself up to something far deeper. She is allowing another person into her space, into the most vulnerable parts of who she is, both physically and emotionally. This experience, whether tender or careless, passionate or indifferent, leaves a mark. It is not just a fleeting moment. It is something the body, the heart, and the mind must process in their own way. From a medical perspective, the area we are discussing is unlike any other. It is home to some of the most delicate and sensitive tissues in the entire body, designed not only for function but also for profound sensation. After intimacy, it is common for a woman to experience subtle changes, a lingering warmth, a gentle sensitivity, or even a slight discomfort. This is because this part of the body is not merely a biological structure. It is an extension of her emotional and psychological state, responding to the energy and care, or lack thereof, that was exchanged in the experience. Sometimes, these sensations are soft, like the remnants of a tender touch still lingering on the skin. Other times, they are more pronounced, a soreness that serves as a reminder of what was given, what was received, and whether it was met with gentleness, respect, and reciprocity. The body has a way of communicating what the heart and mind may not yet have put into words. Science tells us that the way we prepare for intimacy and the care we give ourselves afterward play a crucial role in how we feel both physically and emotionally. The time dedicated to tenderness, to making sure the body is ready, to ensuring comfort and connection, all of this affects how we experience intimacy and how we feel in its aftermath. Aftercare is not just about hygiene or physical recovery, it is also about emotional nourishment. Hydrating, taking a warm bath, wearing soft, breathable clothing, and simply allowing the body to rest can make all the difference in how we feel in the hours and days that follow. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Yet, what many fail to acknowledge is that the impact of intimacy does not end with the body. The mind and heart, too, must process what has taken place. Many women report feeling a vast spectrum of emotions afterward. For some, there is a lingering sense of closeness, a warmth, a deep-seated feeling of security, a quiet joy that stays with them like a soft echo of the moment shared. For others, there is an introspective stillness, a need to retreat inward, to sit with their emotions, to untangle the thoughts and feelings that have surfaced. And sometimes, there is a sadness, one that is difficult to name, a quiet ache that lingers in the chest, a sense of emptiness that arrives uninvited. This emotional response is nothing to fear. It is not a sign of weakness, nor is it something to suppress or push away. It is simply the body, the heart, and the mind doing what they were designed to do, processing an experience that was not just physical but deeply intertwined with emotion, vulnerability, and trust. This is why self-care after intimacy is just as important as the experience itself. It is not enough to simply move on, to carry on as if nothing has changed. Because something has changed. The body has felt, the heart has opened, and the mind has taken in something new. Ignoring this reality is to ignore the depth of what it means to be a woman, to feel so deeply, to connect so profoundly, to exist in a body that does not just experience life but remembers it. I recall a conversation with my dear friend Clara, a woman of quiet strength and profound wisdom. She once shared a ritual she had created for herself after moments of intimacy. After those moments, she told me, I always take time to be alone with myself. I make a cup of tea, put on the softest music I can find, and take slow, deep breaths. I touch my skin with gratitude, run my fingers through my hair, and whisper a simple thank you to my body for allowing me to feel, to connect, to experience both pleasure and vulnerability. It's my way of honoring myself, of reclaiming my space, my energy, my wholeness. Her words stayed with me. They reminded me that intimacy is not just about what happens in the moment. It is also about how we care for ourselves afterward. It is about acknowledging that our bodies, our emotions, and our spirits are deeply connected. It is about treating ourselves with the same tenderness we long to receive from others. So the next time you find yourself reflecting on what your body feels after an intimate experience, I invite you to pause. Breathe. Wrap yourself in warmth, whether it's a soft blanket, a soothing bath, a cup of tea, or simply the comfort of your own presence. Listen to what your body is telling you. It is wise. It remembers. It speaks in whispers, in sensations, in emotions that rise and fall like waves. Honor those feelings. Let yourself be soft. Let yourself be strong. Let yourself be. Because in doing so, you are not just taking care of your body, you are honoring the sacredness of your entire being. From a psychological perspective, intimacy is far more than a fleeting physical encounter. It is an intricate dance between emotions, trust, and vulnerability. It is a sacred space where two people intertwine not just their bodies, but also their fears, desires, and unspoken thoughts. When approached with tenderness, mutual respect, and an open heart, intimacy becomes a profound expression of love, a moment where the outside world fades away, and two souls communicate in a language that needs no words. The warmth of a loving embrace, the gentle touch of reassurance, and the deep sense of being seen and cherished can leave a lasting imprint on both partners, strengthening the bond they share. In these moments, intimacy is not merely about pleasure. It is about validation, security, and the comfort of knowing that someone accepts you entirely, without conditions. It becomes a refuge, a place where two people can lay down their defenses and simply exist in the presence of one another. When the experience is mutual and desired, it can infuse a relationship with an undeniable sense of closeness, deepening the emotional connection and fortifying the trust that holds them together. However, not all intimacy is experienced in this way. When shared in the absence of emotional readiness, true desire, or mutual enthusiasm, it can become something far less fulfilling, something that leaves behind an uneasy residue rather than a lingering warmth. Intimacy that is clouded by hesitation, obligation, or unspoken doubt has the potential to create emotional wounds rather than strengthen bonds. In such cases, what should be a moment of closeness may instead give rise to feelings of discomfort, detachment, or even regret. The heart recognizes when something is not freely given, and the mind holds on to the echoes of an experience that felt forced or inauthentic. There is a weight to these moments, a heaviness that can manifest as emotional distance, resentment, or a slow erosion of trust. This is why communication is not just important, it is essential. A relationship built on silence and assumptions is a fragile one, vulnerable to misunderstandings and unmet emotional needs. The strongest relationships are not those free from challenges, but those in which both individuals feel safe enough to express their desires, boundaries, and concerns openly. True intimacy is about more than physical closeness. It is about emotional transparency, the ability to say, "This is what I need," or "This is what I feel," without fear of being dismissed or misunderstood. Conversations before, during, and after intimate moments are not only about ensuring consent, they are about ensuring connection. They are about making sure that both partners walk away from the experience feeling valued, respected, and emotionally fulfilled. Even the smallest of reassurances, a whispered "Are you okay?" or a tender "Do you feel safe?" can make all the difference. Such moments of verbal and non-verbal affirmation strengthen the foundation of a relationship, reinforcing the idea that intimacy should never be about obligation or pressure, but rather about mutual joy and shared trust. Now, let's turn our focus back to the body. Medically speaking, our physical well-being is deeply intertwined with our emotional state. The body speaks in subtle ways, sending whispers before it raises its voice in distress. A fleeting discomfort, a lingering irritation, an unexpected ache. These are not just minor inconveniences. They are messages, signals that something may need attention. Ignoring them, dismissing them as insignificant, or feeling too embarrassed to seek help can lead to larger issues down the road. Yet, so many people hesitate to prioritize their own health, especially when it comes to issues related to intimacy and physical well-being. There is a lingering stigma surrounding these conversations, a quiet shame that prevents many from asking the questions that could lead to relief and understanding. But here is an undeniable truth. Your body is the only home you will ever have, and caring for it is not an indulgence, it is an act of self-respect. Seeking help when something feels off is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to the value you place on your well-being. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Practicing self-care in even the smallest of ways can create a ripple effect of long-term benefits. Staying hydrated nourishes the body from the inside out, promoting circulation and overall vitality. A diet rich in fiber aids digestion and prevents unnecessary discomfort, ensuring that the body functions smoothly. Engaging in exercises that strengthen the pelvic floor muscles contributes not only to physical health but also to confidence, comfort, and longevity in intimate well-being. These habits, though simple, are powerful investments in a future free from preventable suffering. And speaking of resilience, let me share a story with you. Many years ago, I met a woman named Elena, a woman whose presence was like a lighthouse in the storm, radiating warmth, wisdom, and an unshakable sense of self. She had the kind of spirit that drew people in, the kind of grace that turned heads not because of her appearance, but because of the quiet confidence she exuded. Elena had lived a life marked by both deep love and profound loss. She had known what it was like to give her heart completely, to trust without hesitation, and to embrace intimacy not just as an act but as an offering of the soul. But she had also learned the hard way that when intimacy is given without true desire or reciprocation, it leaves behind wounds that take time to heal. One day, over tea, Elena shared a truth with me that I will never forget. She said, "Your body and your spirit are in constant conversation. If you neglect one, the other will suffer." She went on to tell me about a time in her life when she had ignored her own needs, prioritizing the comfort of others at the expense of her own well-being. She spoke of moments when she had allowed guilt to dictate her choices, moments when she had silenced her own desires for the sake of keeping peace. And she spoke of the cost, the slow unraveling of her self-worth, the quiet erosion of her joy, the realization that giving too much of oneself without replenishment leads not to love but to depletion. But Elena was not a woman who stayed broken. She was a woman who rebuilt. She learned with time and patience that self-care was not selfish, that boundaries were not walls but necessary guards of the soul, and that true intimacy, both emotional and physical, could only exist in spaces where she felt fully seen, heard, and valued. She began to listen to her body, to honor its signals instead of ignoring them. She sought guidance when she needed it, no longer allowing shame to dictate her health choices. She embraced habits that made her feel strong, radiant, and alive. And in doing so, she found a love that was deeper and more fulfilling than any she had known before, a love that began with herself. Elena's story is one that has stayed with me, a reminder that intimacy, both with another person and with oneself, is sacred. It should be entered into with clarity, embraced with care, and never taken for granted. So I leave you with this thought. The way we treat our bodies, the way we communicate our needs, and the way we honor our own well-being all shape the quality of our relationships and the depth of our joy. Love yourself enough to listen, to speak up, and to care. You are worth it. Would you like to hear more about Elena's journey? Elena once confided in me, her voice carrying the weight of years of quiet self-discovery, that in her youth, she had been utterly unprepared for the complexities of intimacy. She didn't know how to process the emotions that lingered long after the physical act had ended, nor did she understand how deeply connected her heart, mind, and body truly were. In those early years, she simply carried on, brushing aside the quiet discomfort that sometimes settled in her chest, ignoring the unspoken need for reassurance and self-care. At the time, no one had taught her that intimacy was more than just a physical experience, that it was layered with emotions, expectations, vulnerabilities, and the unspoken echoes of one's past. No one had told her how crucial it was to check in with herself afterward, to assess not just how she felt physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. In the absence of guidance, she did what many young women do. She pretended she was fine, even when she wasn't. But time, as it always does, became her greatest teacher. Through years of quiet introspection, heartbreak, and self-discovery, she came to understand something profound. Intimacy is not just about what happens in the moment. It is about how we care for ourselves in the moments that follow. Slowly, she developed what she came to call her self-care ritual, a deeply personal practice that allowed her to nurture herself, to reclaim her sense of balance, and to embrace the tenderness she had so often denied herself. This ritual was sacred to her. It began with something seemingly simple but deeply healing, a warm bath, infused with carefully chosen essential oils. Lavender, to soothe her racing thoughts. Rose, to remind herself of her own worth. Chamomile, to ease the tension that sometimes settled in her chest. As she lowered herself into the water, she imagined it washing away not just the remnants of the night, but also any lingering emotions she needed to release. Doubt, insecurity, unresolved feelings. She allowed herself to feel held, comforted, safe. Afterward, she would sit in silence, wrapped in a soft robe, her fingers tracing the rim of a warm cup of herbal tea. This stillness was essential. It was in these quiet moments that she allowed herself to process, to reflect on what she felt, what she needed, and what she wished for in the days to come. If the night had been fulfilling, she allowed herself to bask in that warmth, embracing the joy of connection. But if something felt off, if there was an unspoken tension in her heart, she honored that too. Sometimes, the ritual ended there, the silence offering all the clarity she needed. But on other nights, when emotions swirled too fiercely within her, she sought solace in words. She had learned over time that true intimacy extended beyond the physical. It required honesty, vulnerability, and the courage to speak. If she felt unsettled, if there was something left unspoken, she would have a gentle conversation with her partner, expressing what she felt and what she needed to feel truly at ease. Taking care of ourselves after these moments, she often told me, is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Our well-being should never be an afterthought. Elena had also come to understand that intimacy, when experienced with mutual respect, love, and a sense of safety, could strengthen the deepest of bonds. For many women, these moments were not just about physical connection. They were about emotional closeness, about feeling seen, cherished, and valued in the most vulnerable of spaces. In countless cultures, intimacy was seen as a sacred exchange, a symbol of trust and commitment, a language spoken not in words but in touch, in presence, in the quiet reassurance of a lover's embrace. But just as intimacy could be profound and fulfilling, it could also be complex. Elena recognized that not every woman found comfort in these experiences, and that was not only understandable, it was perfectly okay. Each body, each heart, each mind carries its own story, its own thresholds, its own unique rhythm. What feels healing to one may feel overwhelming to another, and honoring those personal boundaries is not just important, it is essential. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. This is why I ask you, as you read this, to reflect on something profoundly simple yet often overlooked: listening to your body. Our bodies are our greatest allies. They speak to us in whispers and in waves, in warmth and in unease. They tell us when something feels right, when joy and pleasure bloom freely within us, when connection feels effortless and safe. But they also warn us when something is amiss, through tension, through discomfort, through a quiet but persistent feeling that something isn't sitting well within our souls. To honor those signals, to truly respect ourselves, we must learn to listen. And when something doesn't feel right, be it physically, emotionally, or spiritually, never hesitate to seek the care, the support, and the reassurance you deserve. There is no shame in needing comfort, no weakness in asking for understanding. You are worthy of love, but more importantly, you are worthy of self-love. And so, I leave you with this: treat yourself with tenderness. Do not rush past your own needs. Do not silence the voice inside you that whispers for care, for attention, for gentleness. Whether you find solace in a warm bath, in quiet reflection, in the arms of a trusted partner, or in the simple act of journaling your thoughts, whatever it is that brings you back to yourself, honor it. Because in doing so, you are not just taking care of your body, you are affirming your worth. Dear ones, I hope this conversation has not only provided insight but also given you a moment to pause, to reflect, and to recognize the immense value in treating yourself with the love and care you so deeply deserve. Your well-being matters. Your feelings matter. And above all, you matter. Now that we've explored the deep and often unspoken impact of intimacy on a woman's body, heart, and mind, I want to leave you with this question. What have you learned today? Has this video helped you see intimacy in a new light? Has it made you more aware of how your body responds, how your emotions shift, and how important it is to care for yourself after these moments? Pushpin, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell me, what is the one thing you've learned from this video that you will bring into practice in your own life? Whether it's a new self-care habit, a deeper understanding of your emotions, or simply the decision to listen to your body more closely, your insights matter. Red Heart, let's create a space where women can learn from each other, support one another, and embrace the wisdom our bodies have been carrying all along. Fire, and if this video resonated with you, don't forget to show your support. White heavy check mark, hit the like button, share this video with someone who might need to hear this, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel so you never miss content that helps you grow, heal, and connect with yourself on a deeper level. Bell, turn on notifications so you're always the first to know when we release new videos designed to empower and inspire you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, your body is wise, your emotions are valid, and you deserve to be cared for, not just by others, but most importantly, by yourself. Speech balloon now, drop your thoughts in the comments below. I can't wait to hear what resonated with you the most. Until next time, take care and honor yourself.